Yo, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna put the phone up so y'all can see me. Let me text back my favorite fave. Thank you for telling me. Let me know, can y'all hear me? I'm gonna just rock out for a little while till I get on the highway. Can you hear me on the live? I started a new one. Yeah, that's weird, y'all. I've been having some. I had some issues. I don't know. My phone is not on the Bluetooth, so I'm waiting for another notification. I thought y'all could hear me. I was on for 8 minutes. Okay. Y'all can hear me now. Let me wait for a few of y'all to get in. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Blessings, blessings, y'all. Let's redo this. Maybe this is gonna be a good one. I don't know because I've been having some issues this morning, and I just wanted to do a quick live because y'all know on Wednesdays. Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Can you still hear me? Just put one. Let me know because sometimes when I get notifications, they can't hear me. But yeah, I do apologize. I pray that the notifications go back out. Blessings, and grand rises, everyone. I hope you guys having a great day. And a great start to your morning. I want to have a little conversation with you guys while I head to the farmers market. I'm just headed to get some water and some mayonnaise because y'all know on Wednesdays, if y'all do follow me or y'all part of the Levi family, on Wednesdays, I go and give food out. And that's what I want to talk about. We're going to talk about it a little bit. We got a little bit of time. I want y'all to kind of see what's going on out here, with a person living out here in Atlanta. And why I think it possibly would be a possibility that Trump will come out here. Okay, there's a few different factors, and that's what I was talking about on the live. So thank you so much for letting me know. And I was like, ooh, they done cut me off. I'm out here talking about these big old whippersnappers out here. Hit the like button. So the title is Will Trump Come to Atlanta? Okay. So I was weighing the options on Will Trump come to Atlanta because I noticed some things last week. Y'all know I give out food every Wednesday. So last week I had some trouble because I couldn't find the homeless people. There's a lot of encampments out here of homeless people. And you could get maybe like 20, 10, 15, because what they do is put them out during the daytime and they're just outside. So when we went out there, we had some issues, and y'all saw me walking last week. I had to give out food by the library where I do my economic development seminars. Cool. So I said, okay, that's a little weird, but maybe it was because of the holiday. It was a lot going on down there. It was the Breezy Bowl. That was the Breezy Bowl down there. So I'm like, okay, I knew something big was coming, but I want to check this week. So what I'm doing right now is going to get the stuff that I need, and I'm thinking that I'm going to be doing my giveaway tomorrow, and we're going to be creeping down there today to see what's going on because I'm seeing some changes here, and I'm like, wow. Are they trying to, get things cleaned up because Trump is doing, all of this threatening? Now, what you're noticing is that Trump, in my opinion, and as I said, we got crime everywhere. That's a whole nother live in itself. But this particular situation, where he's coming to particular places where he had beef. Trump is going to places where he had beef with the government. You see what I'm saying? I do believe that this is part of a distraction tactic because there's so much things coming out about Trump and on Trump as far as the Epstein thing. Some of his base is really waking up and they're not happy. You see what I'm saying? So he's using us again as a ploy. So I'm thinking that he may come to Atlanta because of the Fannie Willis thing. Let's talk about it, okay? Now, I'm going to talk from someone who's watching online as well as, I know the streets out here. There's some things that's brewing out here, and it's directly related to our government. Where I give stuff food out is in Fulton County. Fulton County is where Fannie Willis's DA is over. Now, it was this big YSL trial that they had. Fannie Willis did not come out on top with this YSL trial. a lot of these alleged gang members are right back in the streets with the same beef. Now, this is important to know because as a community member, it makes me concerned. Do you see what I'm saying? This is like a catalyst of effect. I can see this being a catalyst effect. We'll talk about it. So she did not, roll out her RICO charge correctly, piece together the whole case, and these boys are back out here. But what we're noticing is that periodically, when it gets quiet, these young men interviews are released on the internet, like full interviews of them ratting on each other, them telling on each other, them just, whatever. So that big rapper named, what is his name? Young Thug, he's out. He beat the RICO charges. And now it was a video released of him snitching, which is bringing other big rappers involved, like big rappers. This, if you may not know the importance because our age group is our age group, but these people are important to them. Okay, they're out here toting guns, running the street, so it's creating a buzz again since it got quiet. And what's alarming to me as a resident, that there's been times, even inside and outside of finding out in this trial, YSL trial, that they be shooting on the highway. Okay? This is an open carry state. So our crime is not as high as the states that don't have open carry. I will say that. But I will say, in the hands of these young people who are acting like gang members, it's a whole nother story. So there were 2 incidents within that case that you could look up where they were shooting on the highway. One, it was this guy named Little Woody. They were trying to shoot at him. He was shooting at them, shot them off the highway. 2, Lil Wayne. You know that big rapper Lil Wayne? His bus got shot up on this highway that I'm on right now. This is one of the busiest highways out here. It's either 278 or what is it? 270 or 85. Okay, or 20, but 20 is going across. Okay, so I'm on this highway right now. So that's 2 incidents within that case, and then there were 2 other incidents in Georgia where people use their guns to shoot. So I'm just feeling a little alarmed because this beef is starting back up again, and it looks like the actual DA allegedly have done it, because where would you get these tapes of these young men snitching on each other? So this takes me back into the thought of, will Trump send troops out here? Because we have this little thing kind of flaring up. It's flaring up, and y'all may not know it, but the internet knows it. It's on and popping on the internet. It's ridiculous. And then we have the next factor where Fannie Willis and Trump is not on good terms. I'm just pretty much waiting for Trump to come down on Fannie. Y'all already know he's been coming down on anyone who have came against him, and Fannie has tried, and she's still trying. She's still trying to get herself on the case and all of that nonsense. I'm not a big supporter of her because it's her DA office that's causing this stuff out here. That's why y'all know I'm a separatist. I'm not a Democrat, Republican. I just tell the truth because we got to live through the consequences of what these people are doing. So because last week I can't find the homeless people, I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on here? So my plan today is actually to go down there and check it out to see if they're around, and then if so, I'll come and bring the food tomorrow, because I don't want to be, having to be doing too much today, because today is the first day of my economics seminar, second series. We're doing the fall series, so I want to have my energy for that. Just to, I'm gonna advertise for that. But what this goes to say, then I want to go into the conversation of what do we do? Okay, I'm not too far from my destination, but I do want to get into the conversation of what do we do and how do we prepare for this in our community, because it's going to come. And regardless if it's crime or not, Trump is doing this. People who lived in Washington pretty much said that, there is crime in Washington, but it wasn't a call for the National Guard. And we saw what the National Guard came and did. Shout out to them, because they actually, were pretty calm, cool, collective. I saw them picking up trash. I know there was some people who they caught a video of a few running in our face doing crazy stuff, but it was no incidents where people were hurt. So thank God. These are things that's out of our hands, people. These are things because the girls are fighting. And we're like the pawns. That's why we really have to talk about this from a non-biased perspective. What do you do if you're driving down the highway and some things just happen? What do you do? You see what I'm saying? What do you do when you are going to the local grocery store and now you have to go do point check to point check, or you're on a curfew or whatever because the girls are fighting and we're not? Does that make sense? So what I'm thinking is that we're going to have to get prepared. We're going to have to get prepared in the way that we actually deal with the situation if it comes. We're going to have to know how to deal with officers of the law, being respectful, but being strong in your stance, especially if you're not doing nothing illegal. We have to learn how to use our cameras correctly. Y'all didn't peep this. It was a lot of states that rolled out a touchless law. Did y'all notice that? Where you can't even touch your cell phone, you get a ticket. Like, if the cops pull you over and then you want to start your camera, this is against the law now. Go look at that. You can't, touch no device type law. And it really passed. Does that make sense? These are the things I kind of think about. I start putting the pieces together, like what is going on around here? Because at the end of the day, we still going to have to protect ourselves, and we're going to still. The camera is our best and worst enemy. I'm just going to be honest, because we have been able to put a lot of things out there for each one of us to see. Like just right now, with me talking about what's going on with the YSL thing, from being a resident out here and, not wrapped up in a trial, but witnessing stuff on the news and having to live out here with this high volume of traffic of people, I'm able to open up y'all eyes to what's going on a deeper level. That's why we have to have our own podcast. We have to have our own channels where we're talking about this stuff, so y'all can get an inner perspective. Because people on the outside like, yeah, just come to Atlanta. And it's not really as bad as it may seem, just like what they did with Washington. I do think that they're going to come to Chicago. Do I think it's a fix for what's happening in Chicago? No, not at all. Do I think it's a need? Possibly. Because I heard that y'all had I'm gonna be honest, a bloody holiday. So if that presence is needed, I think it should be the governor's choice. You see what I'm saying? To call in the National Guard, just like he did before. You know what I'm saying? The governor out there in Chicago. He's like, I called before. I called more than once, but I don't think it's a need to be called. But this is a game. Do you see what I'm saying? Because you look at it from both sides. It's like, damn, you called 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and now Trump talk about coming in and no. You see what I'm saying? So how do we get prepared? Because we're in the middle of the game. Does that make sense? And we have to learn law, how to deal with these officials, where to go, where not to go. Do you see what I'm saying? Especially with our kids, because our kids are much different. They are much different than us, and I think the society that has been shaped around them have them a little delusional at times, and that can make them targets. Do you see what I'm saying? That can make them targets in these police eyes, especially if they're gun-ho. But I'm going to be honest, I don't think that the National Guard moves like police. I don't think that they move like, learning from my uncle, because my uncle was in the service and he went into being a federal agent, and then he did corrections. He did a lot. There's different ways that these people are trained. So I do think that the National Guard, they come in a little bit more meek than ICE, but then you got to keep in consideration he's mixing ICE into these efforts of National Guard, i.e., give an example. He told the governor in Chicago, Fitzer, they've been aware, well, not him, but they've been made aware, the police out there in Chicago, that ICE will be coming out there. Do you understand? So y'all have to be prepared because they're just rounding us up as black people. They're rounding us up, and then we have to figure it out later. So we have to figure that out now. Black people, get your paperwork together. You see what I'm saying? I have mentioned this before. You remember I was like, Dad, what would happen if they can't identify us? We can't identify ourselves or whatever. We don't have that paperwork. So black people, have your paperwork. Make sure your kids have their identity with them. Make sure that they know how to get in contact with you. You know what I'm saying? If some things were to happen, make sure we have to really play this situation much different than we ever played anything else. Hold on, y'all. I think the place is on the other side of the street. I'm almost down there. We have to play this much different. We have to train our kids on how to interact with what's about to happen. Does that make sense? And we have to really understand the concept of what we want. Does that What do I mean by what we want? What outcome do we want? You can't just throw a behavior out there and then expect good results. You see what I'm saying? So not only with our kids, our young kids, making sure that they have etiquette and know how to handle yourself and emotional intelligence, you do too. We do too. Not just black people, but anybody who's going to be coming encounter with this right here. Because it can be frustrating. So if you have someone gun ho to give you tickets to bring you into the system, that's pretty much what they want to do. I think they want to put most of us in the system and run us through the system and give us some type of paperwork or put us through or something and collect as much money as possible. Because I know out there in Washington, they were pretty much giving through the roadblocks. I know they were giving tickets. I know they made a lot of revenue. Do you see what I'm saying? So this is a whole heist on us that we're watching. So my main thing is, how are we going to be prepared, like realistically? And that is, again, know that they may come to your town, because I'm preparing. I think they're going to come to Atlanta. I told my son. He's like, why you think that? And we was talking about it. He was like, oh yeah, possibly. So I was like, so what would you do if you interact with them? You see what I'm saying? Make them think about that type of stuff. What would your teenage do if they interact with them? What could we do to have less interaction with them? As I mentioned before, when they come in to our towns, I think us as black people, especially if we are the main target, we need to fall back. We don't need to be outside in their stores, these grocery stores, spending our money. We literally just need to get prepared, have what we need, and have a high level of separation, so we won't get pulled into these shenanigans. Because at the end of the day, like I said, even if it's not a lot of crime going on, because I don't even think Washington is as bad as Chicago. If you was going to roll something out, it's real. You could have rolled it out in Chicago a little bit. You could have rolled it out there. You could have rolled it out in Memphis. It goes down in Memphis. Place it goes down. It's some places that you may need to put a presence out there. Does that make sense? But then after that, what's the follow up? What's the follow through? So that's what we're going to have to do. I think that the community needs to stay in contact with their police force, pay attention if they have any bulletins of what's going on. You see what I'm saying? So you could be aware if because some of the police stations, the police forces in these communities, they're not with what happened, because it's like someone overpowered them. They came and just took over their station. They didn't like that. So they were working with the community too to make sure that the community was safe. Does that make sense? So I do think eventually Trump will find his way to Atlanta. Is it a strong basis for him to come to Atlanta right now? No. It would be more political, I think, related to Fannie and her misdeeds. Um, or it'll be the explosion of the gunplay that may happen if these young people keep beefing and they take this YSL snitching thing offline and they bring it back to the streets. You see what I'm saying? Let me just look at your comments and I'm about to go in real quick. Joe said, this is not a black issue. This is not an American issue. What are you talking about? I think you missed the whole topic because this is a black issue, an American issue. I think, Joe, you may be a little confused. 58 killings in Chicago this weekend. Exactly. That's thank you, MT. Blessings. That's what I was saying. I keep my eye on the street. It was a bloody weekend. So we can't think that nothing is going on. So if them were to come, he will have some grounds. Y'all governor out there fits a ass walking. Y'all saw the interview with him walking, taking Ozempic, doing a promotion for Ozempic, talking about his mind sounds on when it was 58 killings. What are you doing? Why didn't he address that? See, that's our problem. That is the problem. We have both sides not addressing the correct issues. So I pray for them. I pray for them kids out there. These kids out here kind of toned down. I think the reason why the Atlanta kids are not as wild as the kids from Jersey or Chicago area is because this is like star study. Everybody here want to be getting that money in a different way. Like they be scamming. Like they not into a lot of the scams don't always lead to gunplay. Does that make sense? And I know that this is an open carry state. So when it's open carry state, you have a different mindset. People don't be so fast to just jump off on people or argue because they don't know who have a gun. You see, so I'm with you. I'm praying for Chicago because I love them out there. All right. He said, you are about to drive through a crowd of white people. What's wrong with them people? All right, cool. I just wanted to talk about that. Thank you, Maz, for being in the chat for removing the boogers. Um, I hope this kind of sets something in you guys' head to learn a little bit about Atlanta from outside of the propaganda. Someone who's inside, kind of putting some things together. I do agree that we do have a problem with crime and violence, but that is directly related to poverty, point blank, period, and lack of education. So you can't fix nothing without fixing the stem of the issue. And it's not always just about an infusion of money because you can infuse a whole bunch of money, but you don't have people managing the money. And then down the line, you have people like Elon Musk and Doge talking about, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. Everybody's waste management because there never was a real plan. You see what I'm saying? We just got caught in the propaganda. So this is to my Levi family, the people I'm building here or we're connecting. I believe you guys, we're on the same page. Some of us know that we can't play this gang stuff. It's not going to work. Unity is different from gang mentality. A lot of you guys, I know y'all realize that the red and blue is basically two hands, one head. The people who know that it's going to be something after this that come after this good, I'm going to say one, make sure you have endurance. Two, make sure you have a plan. Three, save as much money and resources as possible. Do not fall for the propaganda because, as y'all know, in the time of Lot, they were partying to the end. And every time when it was destruction, there were majority just partying, living their life to the end. And I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself, don't, breathe fresh air and, enjoy your family. But we're living in times that you're going to have to be prepared. We're going to have to think different. We're going to have to spend different. We're going to have to live different. It's going to look very different 3 years from now. 3 years ago, who thought that we'll be this like this? Does that make sense? So prepare yourself. Pay attention to everything and everyone. Don't cut yourself off from resources. And as I say, stay sucker free. So let me go in so I can get this water and I get back because I got my seminar I got to get prepared for. I'll let y'all know. I'm going to drive down there. I may go live and I'll check it out down there a little bit later to see if we can find them. But I'll decide if I make it today. But I just don't want to do the rigmarole. Like if they're not down in the area, I don't want to have to go and do what I did last week because my seminar be like 45 minutes. I'll be talking for 45 minutes. When I leave here, I'll be wanting to go chill. I just get the food out and be gone. I don't want to do all that. So, last thing I will say, do something for your community. Do something for you, for your community. Do something to make you feel good, but it's for your community. This makes me feel good. I be broker than the joke here, trying to spend some money on people. What's wrong with me? I love you guys. Have a great, great Wednesday. And check out the information at the bottom if you want to know what I teach. Okay? And then you'll get connected to my economic development seminars. All right. Have a good day. I'll speak to you later. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for helping me. I love you.